My name is Sally Baffour. I'm an adoptive parent and also an adoption specialist. Let me start by explaining the difference between adoption and fostering. People tend to mix the two up and not be sure exactly what each one means. Adoption is when a child is being taken care of by somebody who's not their birth parent. In other words, they didn't give birth to them, who then becomes their parent by law. And in such a case, you'd have a child who, for whatever reason, is not able to be looked after by their own birth family. And so somebody else has taken full care of them. But there's a permanent arrangement where the new parent is actually going to become a permanent carer of that child for the rest of their lives. And in this situation, there's a court order that is actually established to constitute this new family. With this, that child would end up having the name of the person who has adopted them. They will be the person's child in every sense of the word, except of course through blood, because the only thing that's different is that they don't have they share the same bloodline. But in actual fact, they will be absolute families for the rest of both of their lives. When it comes to fostering is, let me illustrate it this way. In every area there is a local authority or a county. The county has responsibility for everybody who lives within its boundaries. This extends to children as well. So if for any reason there's a child within that county or local authority whose parents cannot look after them, the child suddenly finds itself parentless. Their care then reverts straight to the local authority, whose responsibility it is to look out for that child's welfare. Now, of course, a local authority or a county is an entity and not a human being. An organization, a structure with people working in it. Even though it does have a statutory role as a parent, it cannot actually function as a parent. So what it does, it would find individuals within its county who can actually stand in as a parent for it. And that person then becomes a foster carer who the county will pay to look after this child within its boundaries who hasn't got parents. And that then becomes a foster carer. There are different types of foster care. There's long-term, there's short-term foster care, there's respite, and various forms of foster care. But in comparison to adoption, that is a temporary care that a person would give to a child for a period of time. It could be after the child is 18 or it could be 3 months. And as opposed to adoption where it's a lifetime commitment. I hope this explanation clarifies it in your mind. And for the purpose of the rest of the series, I want to explain to you that when I use the word adoptive parent, I actually mean the person who has permanently taken care of somebody that with a court order is actually their child in every sense of the word. And when I use the word foster carer, you now know what it means. Somebody whose role is looking after the child for a period of time, usually temporary. Thank you. See you on the other side.